How's it going, everybody? My name is Absoulem and welcome back. This is part 4 of my full platinum walkthrough for Hollow Knight. And I'm excited to get back into the groove. The last few days I've been moving, and so I haven't had my stream stuff set up, which tends to make things a bit difficult to make a walkthrough. But I am back, I'm better than ever, and I'm fully set up in my new studio, and I'm ready to continue with the daily uploads for our walkthrough and continue where we left off in Hollow Knight. So today's chapter, we're going to be basically backtracking and cleaning up a lot of the areas that we've already been, just looting everything and getting extra items that we haven't been able to get. And then we're also going to push into a new area that's a very small area, and there's no boss or anything, but it is just an area that we have to go to progress the main story. So today's chapter is going to be a lot of cleanup basically, but it's going to be a fun one, and I hope you guys are excited for another installment. But before we do that, of course, we need to go over our foreshadowing quote for chapter 4. Not all those that wander are lost, except for us. We might be lost, but I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's get started. All right, everybody, we are picking up right on the bench in Dirtmouth where we left off, and the first thing I want to go over is the geos, because we're going to be spending quite a bit of geos and also earning a lot of geos. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you are around my amount of geos. I have 4,000, as you see, so I'm going to go ahead and assume you're there. However, if you're way less than me, don't worry. I'm going to show you very early on a way to get some rewards with the grub home. That should let you basically afford the very first item, because I'm about to buy a lantern for 1,800 geo. So try to get 1,800 bare minimum, and you're gonna get a few hundred from the grub home. So if not, you can farm to get at least 1,800. But from that point forward, even if you have like very little geos, you're gonna earn a lot in the chapter. So just take note of anything that you're not able to buy throughout the chapter, and then at the end of the chapter, when I show you how to get a ton of geos, you can always backtrack and pick up those items if you weren't able to afford them. But to start the chapter, at least have 1,800, which I'm assuming you would already if you've been following along. So to start the chapter, we're gonna first head to the left here and buy the lantern. So right there, the Loomfly lantern or whatever. I'm going to leave these. I know I can afford them, but I'm going to leave them for now. I wanted to try to pace the purchases a little bit in case you weren't near my my amount of geos, but at least get that lantern, and then we can head to this hut on the right where we'll pick up a mask shard. We're going to get quite a bit of mask shards today as well, so that'll be cool. And then there's some lore. And look, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but what the heck is this lady doing with a statue, a stuffed animal of us? That's a little bit creepy, if I might say. What the frick is this lady doing? So, I don't know what that's all about, but this lady has a voodoo doll in her bedroom of us, and I don't like that. All right, so now we're heading to the grub home, and there's a secret room along the way that we will come back to at the end of the chapter. Everything's gonna be like looting wise, it's gonna be rather efficient, but at the very end we have to do our first bit of essence collection, which means that we'll have to kind of backtrack through the world again, but it's not as many stops. But for the most part, I tried to break it down where we're gonna be just kind of zooming around the world in random areas. But yeah, just take note of this little tree. That's gonna be our whispering roots. That's how we get essence, or one of the ways. And we'll be doing that in this chapter. But again, we're going to turn in our rewards from the grubs we've collected. We're up to 13 now, I believe. And so, yeah, if you needed to afford the lantern, this is a good idea to do first, and then see how much you might have to farm. But this is going to drop Grub's Song. It's a charm that's pretty good, or at least I like it. But yeah, we've gotten quite a bit of geos. At least like 500-600 minimum, so pretty decent amount there if you couldn't afford the lantern. But yeah, Grub Song is a charm that I personally like, where basically you gain soul when taking damage, and it's only 1 notch, so it's a really good charm for that. But now we're gonna do something that that I had said you could have done earlier. What is everything against me? Oh my goodness. But yeah, you might have already done this. In the very first chapter, I pointed out this boss fight that you could have done. But now, if you haven't done it, then we're going to go do that now. And if you have, just kick back and watch the rest of us suffer. Not a hard boss fight, honestly. It's the Brooding Malwick, I think is the name of it. It's a very simple boss, especially when you have your nail leveled up all the way. Like in the Pantheon, I think this boss is like the the third boss. It's like one of the early bosses in the Pantheon, so it's a very easy one. It'll be a little bit challenging for us just because we're not very leveled up, but nothing too crazy. You should be just fine. I expect you'll beat it on the first, and worst case, second try. But break the floor here. And then we're going to head to the left first, where we can, whoops, go up this way. Okay, it's not wanting to work with me. So we have a big soul totem here if you would like. And then there's going to be some geos up here. Just watch out for the floor, it does fall. So get your geos first before falling. Oh, I thought I had the platform. I thought I was that good. All right, so now let's see. Yeah, now we're gonna go fight the boss. The trick to this is to stay on the left and right. It'll be really obvious. And then all you got to do is keep an eye out for the arm that swipes at you. And so you just hit it a couple times, then you back up and then keep going back and forth. And then eventually it'll spit a giant cluster of lava. And you just have to pogo on top of the boss and change sides, basically. And, you know, it's okay if you get hit. You'll get a lot of soul back throughout the fight. So just watch that arm. You see how it, like, swipes at you? So in this, like, you just avoid it. So right here, we just pogo, and then we can swap sides. Oh, I had nowhere to go. You tricked me, game. And healing is a bit of a gamble in terms of just if the lavas will land on you or not, but you know, as you can see, it's a pretty straightforward boss. If you did it earlier on chapter 1, it would take about twice as long because our nail wasn't upgraded. But either way, it's not hard. So have fun with that. You get a mass shard for beating it, so that's always cool. And of course, a journal entry. So now we are going to... All right, now we're going to go get another mass shard because I promised us quite a number of mass shards this chapter. Let's see. Nope. It's the second one. Not that one. It's the one down here where we did the lockdown. Feel free to stop at the hot springs if you would like. I could go for a vacation in the hot springs. Oh, what's that? We have some friends in the hot spring. What's up, boys? But no, don't let me interrupt. They all just stopped talking. Like clearly they were talking about us. No. Oh, okay. All right. Well, no, I can take a hint. I'll leave. They're definitely talking shit. They're definitely some shit talkers. I thought that was more of a dung defender type maneuver, but I guess not for these guys. All right. So if you see this little shortcut right here, we have to do a whole loop around for that. So you have to be kind of quick here. See if I can do it flawless. It's not as easy to do as you might think. Whew, that was close. Let's go. Oh, I'm freaking amazing. I'm pretty much the best. Look at that. 3 mass shards in like 2 minutes. That's crazy. Told you we were getting items today, huh? All right, so now we've done that, and now we're gonna head to the bottom right, where we first met Sly. Oh no. Where we first met Sly, and that's gonna be you probably remember that we saw a NPC down there, but we never actually met her because we didn't have the ability. But no longer. We have all the abilities we ever needed. Soul totem above if you needed it. So drop down. That's Sly's old home. Wow, 3-hole geos. Look at us. But yes, come up here, and there is a bench that you can rest. That is a very fancy bench, if I might add. That might be the fanciest bench in the game. So yeah, look at this large NPC. I don't even know what she is. I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe she looks kind of like a maggot, like a really fat maggot, which I know sounds like insulting, but I think that's what I think she's like a grub type thing. But I don't know. Anyways, as you can see, this NPC here sells a number of charms, which we will buy all of them by the end of the chapter, as well as several charm slots. These allow you to equip. It gives you more notches to equip better charms. So we're gonna start by buying 2 of the notches, or whatever you're able to purchase. This is the kind of thing I meant, like if you can't afford what I'm buying, circle back and come get this at the end of the chapter. And don't worry, I am personally coming back to buy the rest of it later. So, you know, if you can't afford what I'm getting now, then just whenever we come back later, you'll be able to get it all at once as well. And then I'm going to buy the long nail for now. And I'm going to leave the rest of this. Yeah. All right. So we can't get the notches until we get a certain amount of charms, which we will get later. So just buy those, leave the rest. We'll come back later in the end of the chapter and get the rest of that stuff. But for now, we can go ahead and equip the long nail. So pretty good setup here. We have, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like this, and then eventually by the end of the chapter, I'm going to have that loadout plus the grub song, which will be a pretty solid loadout for now. So if you want to copy me, that is what I am running. All right, so now we're going to head up to the stag station that's just above us. So head to the left here. We're going to travel to Greenpath. Yeah, it'll be faster. All right. Hopefully you're starting to memorize the map a little bit. We can speak to this NPC. He's just always in such a great attitude, or a great mood. We're going to meet him later, or you should. By this like super beautiful area, and he still has an attitude, so there's just no fixing it. All right, so head to Greenpath. Some people, I've been studying other walkthroughs and stuff, and I know that some people like to do the looting like all at once they have all the abilities, and they just do one backtrack. But personally, I like to get us more set up as we go, so that it might take us 2 or 3 like I guess pass-throughs of an area. But I think it's good to always be more leveled up because it makes all the bosses a lot easier. But I remember when I first platinumed it, I followed the text guides that had it where like basically you just complete the main story, and then you only backtrack anytime it's like absolutely crucial. So I personally like it this way a little bit better, us doing it like this. Plus, like, whenever you get to the end, all you have to do is worry about, like, one item or something. So if you enjoyed how we arranged Silksong, then, that's kind of what I'm going for with this one as well. All right, so we're heading to the very bottom where it says Stone Sanctuary. So however you get there is fine. It doesn't really matter if you want to go one way or the other. It's not as far of a journey as you might think. All right, we're gonna stop right here and grab, go up. We're gonna grab a charm that we can get now. Ooh, okay. So jump, dash, jump, dash. This one you have to fall and dash at the same time. Just time it like right now. And there we go. We get the Thorns of Agony. Yum. That's a charm where if you get hit, you basically sprout vines. Alright, we're back to the main path here. Get as many kills on those guys as you can for the journal. So it's so satisfying, excuse me, when you get back to an early area and you're just so overpowered. All right, so there is a, goodness, I think I'm dying. There is a bench right here. All right, so head to the right here, just below the bench, this long hallway here. And now that we have our trusted lantern, we can actually tackle this area. You can do it earlier if you have it all memorized, but, you know, why do you have to prove something? I mean, maybe you have to prove something to somebody. So head inside this room, and now with our lantern, we're actually able to see. Otherwise, it would be completely dark in here. And there's some lore right here, which is very detailed. A face carved from stone. So, in case you couldn't tell, that giant face out of stone is actually a face that's carved into the stone. In case that was unclear for anybody. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So, drop over here. And then go over this way. And another mask shard. Just like that, we got a full mask done in less than 15 minutes. Pretty cool stuff right there. Pretty cool. Then we can just drop down right here, and that takes us back to the beginning. Or close to the beginning, at least. There's just another couple things we can do in this area. There's an area that we haven't actually been to yet in the Greenpath, so we're going to knock that out. So head over here and drop down. And then on this right side, you can head up this wall, and that actually takes you to a secret room for a Wanderer Journal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go kill us a big-ass moss creature, which is an absolute joke. But right here on the left path, where my character is on the map, head to the left. And really, you know, be ready to tackle something big. The trick is just to swing repeatedly. It'll, when it charges you, just like this, just hit him. And as long as you can do it before he reaches you, which I am failing miserably at for some reason. Oh my goodness. Alright, whatever. Usually you can just hold them at bay, but my timing was way off. But either way, as you can see, it's a very simple boss. And it gives you quite a bit of geos, so who doesn't love that, right? And now there's 3 geos in this area that you can get. And there's also a soul totem after that boss. That tough boss that we fought. Get those journal entries up, boys and girls. I don't feel like fighting those flowers. There's better ways to farm those guys. We come down here, and there's some geos there. So, secret room up here to the right. And some more lovely geos. And then there's one more cluster of geos. Oh. Lovely. Right here. Or 2 clusters, I guess. Okay, now we are going to... What just happened? I think that was me, but I don't even know. So that was not what I was trying to do. So you see that chest up there, that is our goal. Get in there. Come on. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Having that long nail equipped is very nice for these kind of things where you have to pogo. But break the grub. No. No. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly what I wanted. Alright, so cut that. And just so you know, we can't actually go any further down this path. There is some lore right here I guess you could read. But we can't get right there just yet, so don't worry about that. But what we need to do is head up this way and grab the vessel fragment. That's our second vessel. We're going to get a number of trophies as well in this chapter, so it's going to be a big chapter for us. Oh, I couldn't see where he was. Alright, so now we're heading back to Dirtmouth, which I suppose at this point you could quit and save back to a bench if you wanted to save some time. So, I'm just going to show you the run back here. Oh, come on. I just want to be able to check my map. Dude, game, just give me a second without getting shot at. Man. Alright, so we need to go up, and then the far left pillar, if you see on the left side, there's those 3 main columns or whatever. We need to go to the left side where the stag station is. This is back to the boss room. I'm playing it risky here. All right, I feel a little bit safer now. I got 4 masks. Yeah, the save and quit mechanic works the same in this game as it does in Silksong. So, if you want to rest at benches and then save and quit, you know, it saves you a little bit of time. All right, we're almost there. And we made it. Without even getting hit, too. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're heading to Dirtmouth. Heading back to that dump. And we are going to earn ourselves a good old-fashioned trophy. You might have already gotten it if you bought all the shop items. But if not, then you'll get it now. So rest here and speak to the boy. I'm just going to talk about the lady that we rescued, Brenda or whatever her name was. So she's here now, but she's just like random on the bench. Sometimes you'll see her, but he has updated dialogue is all. So come to the shop and we're going to buy the vessel fragment. And this will earn you a trophy for having 3 vessel fragments, if you hadn't already gotten that. And that allows you to have reserve soul. So you'll see in the left side there, I have that little dot to the left of our soul gauge. So that'll fill up. If my main soul gauge is full, that one will start filling up. And it gives you basically 1 extra heal. And we can upgrade that as we go with extra vessels. So we'll get a total of 3 by the end of the game. And now I'm going to buy the key, and I would suggest that you do the same. If you can't, like I said, just backtrack and do this whenever you can. But hopefully you'll be able to buy that after getting all those geos that we just picked up. All right. Now we're going to travel to Queen Station. Continue our grind on items. So head to Queen. Hopefully it'll feel good to, like, you know, collect all these random items around the world. I always enjoy chapters like that in games. You just feel like you're, like, actually unlocking stuff. All right, so come to the bottom right here, and you'll see these thorns, which are in the way, and they're just being rude. So this is a little bit tricky. You have to jump to the right side and then dash across, and you're just going to barely make it. The longer you wait, when you jump off that right wall and you start to fall, the longer you wait to dash, the easier it'll be. And this one hit the wall, and then just slowly nudge up there. Otherwise, you'll always hit it. For some reason, your character loves to hit that bottom right thorn right there. Anyways, grab the mass shard here. I just wasn't done getting mass shards, you know? I mean, you can never have enough. Alright, now we're going to head into the fungal wastes. I know you guys probably love this area. I only kill these guys just because they're easy and, you know, it's at least some amount of geos. It's always a good thing to, like, get in the habit of just killing anything that you know you can take out quickly for the journal. But also just to, you know, steadily keep your geos going. Alright, so right here, this one is, like, kind of actually tricky. Hop to the right, and if you time it where you're on the top right corner of this wall, so right like that, you can then dash over it. Otherwise, it's a little bit more difficult to go from the left wall. We don't have the double jump, so that is how you do that. But grab the Wanderer Journal there. And now we're just going to head right back to the stag station. Oh, I used my dash at the wrong time. Why you do this to me, game? I think a cool item in these games, and I'm just throwing out ideas, Team Cherry, so, you know, you're welcome. I think a cool item would be similar to, like, the Homeward Bone in Dark Souls and all, but if I could pick up an item that you could use similar to, like, our lantern or something, it would just be in your inventory, right? And I could click it, and it would take me back to the most recent, like, stag station or, you know, whatever. I think that could be cool. Or maybe the last bench. Since people already do the save and quit method, like, it's not like it would ruin the game itself. Just an idea, Team Cherry. All right, so now we are going to head to King's Station, where we have a bit of a tricky pogo section. Or at least I found it tricky. It's a very simple area, but my goodness did I have a tough time with this. So head to the right here. And you're trying to, you can jump from right here too. You're trying to get on those spikes above the station. First, maybe rest here so that way you have a checkpoint. If you die, you at least spawn right here. But I find it easy to go from this part. And if you're struggling to get, like, because it's a very specific spot that you can actually jump off like that. If you are struggling, you can head to this wall and then dash and then try to do it. But anyways, I'm going to try to just pogo as fast as you can. And if you do it correctly, you'll bounce up here to get the Hollow Nest seal. I'll show you that one more time. So as soon as I leap off that wall, as soon as I leap off the wall, I'm instantly just pogoing. Even though it looks like you're not on the spikes. You see, like, it's pretty generous with the, that. But you got to be quick with the pogo, and then you'll be able to do it. It'll be good practice for later in the game. But, yeah, that's an item we can pick up. We have quite a bit to do in this area, actually. It's a pretty eventful area. Okay. I'm gonna get those geos right here, so jump up in this secret area. Alright. And now, let's see. Hold on, let me catch up on my notes. Alright, so we are gonna head back this way, but we're gonna head up now. This is a simple area. It's actually a really good farming spot for, like, the basic enemies. Because it doesn't take very long, and there's a lot of them. So you'll go up one floor and then jump off right here. Alright, and in the corner, you can grab the Wanderer Journal. We have a lot of relics. As you see, we have 5. We're going to have a lot more, by the way. Like I said, my goal in this chapter is to make us very wealthy. In my practice run, I think I'm up to like 7,000 or 8,000 geos, and I spent probably 4,000 or 5,000 this chapter. So we did well. Good return on our investments. Yeah, okay, we still have that one room. You thought you could sneak up on me, sir, but now you're dead. Alright, and then as you can tell, there's a nice chest full of geos. You probably didn't even see that. Probably slipped right through. Thank God you're following this walkthrough. You would have never seen that geo. Oh, look at that. That guy's on top of the elevator. Hell yeah, brother. I feel it. Sometimes you just got to impale yourself and ride along the currents of the elevator. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All right, we're going to go up where we're going to have a fun little lockdown. It is kind of an insane lockdown, so it's not like the ones we've had so far have only been 2 or 3 enemies. This is a lot more. None of them hard, but just it is a lot of enemies. Feel free to use your blast. See, I wasn't lying there. It's a decent amount of enemies for once. They're finally stepping it up. And there we go. We have another vessel fragment. We are making progress. We have 4 now total. There's 9 in total. Okay, so now we are going to... I'm just going to show you this really quick. This is the elevator. We're going to return here, and you'll appreciate my efficiency. Okay? Or so help me God. I will turn this walkthrough off right now. Alright, feel free to rest at the bench here. Just refresh your health really quick. And it also updates the map, so who doesn't like that, right? So, now we're going to head this way. So, bottom left corner. And we're going to finally loot this area. Now, watch out for the knights. You can fight them or don't. It's up to you. They do take quite a number of hits. So I wish you could just pogo him. Okay, I'm literally not trying to mess that up. I was trying to show. Alright, there we go. I'll show you the method. Get this fool out of here. I don't know what he's thinking. So I like to stand, hit him, and then dash. So you can see he has a lot of health for only 50 geos too. I don't think it's balanced in my opinion. But yes, you can fight them, do whatever you feel like. We have to fight at least one of them in the room we're going, so I like to try to just get on with it. I don't really like to farm these guys, because the amount of time it takes to kill them at the moment, it's like I could have already killed the little guys enough. Once we get our nail upgraded, they're pretty good to farm. So drop down right here. And this is a little bit of a lockdown, so go ahead and, you know, brace yourself. And what I like to do is get into the middle, and then you can fight him. Otherwise, he'll trap you on the door, or you're accidentally going to leave. If you go far enough, it'll do the lockdown. And if he does get a little too close, where you have nowhere to back up to, then just jump over him. Like so. We must protect our grub friend. I saw your fat mom in the depths of Forgotten Crossroads, Mr. Grub. She sold me all of her charms. So yeah, go tell your dad about that, huh? So yeah, free the grub. And then, let's see, now we are going to head kind of back where we were. Hold on. There's some, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah, that's right. This room. Go in here first. kill those fools, and then to the right, if you just keep going to the bottom right, you have to jump, so it's like a little bit of a jump, and you'll find the secret room and a golden goose. Come on, get in the thumbnail, sir. There we go. Wait. Thumbnail. Yay, that's a journal entry that a lot of people tend to miss. Okay, now let's see. So now we bought that simple key at the shop. If not, if you weren't able to afford it, I would double back now, because now you definitely have enough geos to buy it. So if you needed to, go back to the stag station that's just to our right. As you can see where we're at, just head to the next room to the right where the stag station is, travel back to Dirtmouth and buy the simple key from the merchant, and then return. But hopefully you've already gotten the key. But yeah, we're going to use the simple key here. And this is the House of Pleasure or something like that. But for me, it's kind of the House of really bad memories, because one of my longest relationships was with somebody named Marissa. And I just find it really fucked up that, like, you know, the most pleasurable area in this game is my ex, basically. And she was blonde, just like the girl that painted. So for me, this is like trauma. I'm just having a fun old time, guys. Lovely time, everybody. But anyways, break the shortcut here, and then you can pick up the Wanderer Journal right there. And then we can head up. And there's going to be some stops along the way, but there's the geos on the left right there. Skip this floor, and then get off on this floor. And it's going to be the one to the right here. You just head to the thing. Yep, there we go. And there's a rancid egg. Yum. And then head more to the right, and you're going to see where all the rancid eggs are coming from. So, cool. Yeah, I don't know. This is not the House of Pleasure that I was hoping for. There is an NPC, Marissa, that will spawn later. We have to like do a few things, but she will be here. None of what she does is required or anything like that, but she'll like sing to you and stuff. So she would spawn right here, and you can like watch her perform. We'll do it later, just not right now. So we got a hot spring here. I'll go ahead and top off our soul, and then a bench. Good. And then we can break this shortcut here, and oh my goodness, did I think this out or what, guys? Oh my goodness. I just really, you know, sometimes it all comes together. Wow, we're back at the elevator I pointed out. So now we're going to take that elevator. And we have to go left to start. So I just like when everything comes together, you know? Now you can kill this guy or not. That's your choice. But what you want to do is come down to the left right here. And we're not going to really do too much in this area just yet. This is like a thing we'll have later. But for now, I wanted to open up the shortcut at the very least. Plus, you know, we can meet Tizo or whatever. Yeah, so this is where we're at. We're looking over a beautiful lake and a nice cave. Everything's safe. Nothing's trying to hurt us. It just seems like his voice was just like Like, it's like he's saying he likes it, but we all know he doesn't. It's like he's like got that sarcasm. It's like, oh, so peaceful. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Smiling Friends, but the red guy on Smiling Friends, like, very peaceful. Anyways, the left here, you'll recognize that NPC down there where we bought all the charms. So you could remember that. And then take a leap of faith and make a big cannonball. Yay. Like I said, we'll come back here and do the area that you're seeing up top there. But for now, we can take a nice little dip in the pond. Let's see, we're at 45 minutes. I think we can get it done. We'll see. A lot of looting this chapter. All right, hit the lever and we can go up. And there's some lore up above. Pretty empty area at the moment. Obviously things will change later, but this is like the graveyard. It's the resting grounds. We're not going to be able to complete everything in this area, but we are going to meet an NPC and progress the main story. So you want to come over here. And this is a very big moment in the story, I would say. It's like kind of the point where they actually tell you what your main goal is. Because up until this point, it's just really been you exploring with no idea what's going on. This is kind of like the Architect's Melody in Silksong. You'll have to let me know if you like this dream sequence better than the one in Silksong, where this one's like you follow a big butterfly, and then Silksong had the platforms that you like raise up. So you have to let me know if you like the small jumping platforms with a butterfly. I'm gonna catch you, Mrs. Butterfly. And when I do, I'm gonna rip your wings off. I was just kidding. No, I was just kidding. Alright, the dream nail has become ours. Finally. This is like I like to call it the lore weapon. This is how we basically get everything in this game. It gives you lore, it gives you dream sequences, it unlocks secret bosses. It's kind of like our skeleton key of sorts. Yeah, it's a very important tool that we have. And then this is the seer, because she sees stuff, I guess. But she's gonna start tasking us with collecting essence, which is a new thing that we haven't done yet. So we need to collect essence, and then when we hit certain milestones, we can come and talk to her and get new rewards. So let's first start by using our dream nail. So hold down on triangle, and you'll just want to collect all the red dots in that area, wherever we end up doing these. So yeah, we can finally start getting these the whispering roots, I think they're called. Yeah. So you'll see in the left side, I'm getting essence as I go. This is tied to trophies as well as the endings and the game itself, and also essence is a pretty large part of the game. There you go, and if you do them all correctly, you'll get that sound effect, and it'll return back to normal. Now, before we drop down, you might have noticed the ground was weak. Before we do that, there's a couple things we should do. So the platform right here with the light coming out of it, go to the left. And we can pick up a really cool charm, actually. I've always enjoyed this. The Dream Shield. It sends a shield that like circles around you. And it's either really good or really annoying, depending on who you are and what your preferences are. But personally, I really like it. It does take some getting used to. Oh yeah, also you'll know it's done if you see it sprout up like this. So head to the right here, we're going to get a stag station. And this should give you a trophy for half the stag stations. There's only 11, and as you'll see in a moment, we have well over 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, you absolutely at this point should have unlocked the stag station trophy for getting half of the stag stations. So, you know, we're making good progress. There's 11 in total, and we are at 7. So not too much more to go on that. But yeah, that's another trophy. So far we've earned the vessel trophy as well as the stag station trophy in this chapter. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay. So we are going to head to Dirtmouth because unfortunately Cornith couldn't make it here. And he left us that note to return to Dirtmouth. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy a stupid map. So you got to head into his daughter's hut or whatever. Yep, me too. Me too. Bopping out of you. All right, resting grounds map. Buy that. All right, cool. Now, right back to where we were. Feel free to, if you wanted to, you could at this point. If you have a ton, you could buy whatever. If you haven't bought any, if you haven't gotten everything that I've bought so far, then you know now would be a good time. But hopefully you've caught up on the purchases at this point. All right, we're heading back to resting grounds. And there is a thing where we have to do a desolate dive. There is a soul totem above us if you needed soul to perform the dive. But drop down in here. We're going to head left first. We have these guys now. They're not very hard, but they do hit like a truck. Everything in this place sucks because it just hits you for 2 health every time. So yeah, get those geos, break the wall, and then we can break this wall. And then pick up the the Hollow Nest seal. And now we can keep going to the left here. And get this shortcut. This is going to take us back to the elevator, if you remember that. So that's a really good shortcut there, because speaking to the seer and all that, like obviously we have the stag station, which is our best shortcut. But if you aren't near that, you know, then it's good to have a quicker shortcut to get back to the seer. All right, got him. Break the ceiling up here. And I like to use the bat thing to kill that. But big chest of geos, that's always nice. And more importantly, a grub. Okay, I think that's everything. Get the geos here. And there is a ceiling above us that we can break. But also one to the right here. So get the one to the right. And then you got to be quick. Oh, that's why. So watch out for the other. I'm just trying to show you what not to do. That's really what I was doing. But jump up here. And then you got to be a little bit quicker on this one to avoid the enemy if you want. Because he pops out of that. Yeah, right there. You see him. So if you just run really quick, you can avoid him. Oh my god, what is happening? What is happening? What the fu- It just like pushed me. That is the weirdest thing. I couldn't move and it just kept pushing me to the left. I have no idea what happened right there. But anyways, I'll cut back to that moment. Okay, let's try that again. For some reason, everything hated me right there. So yeah, we're gonna pick up a charm here, the Soul Eater. They named that after me, in case you're wondering. Absoulem. It's no big deal. I'm just in the game. Whatever. Doesn't even matter. So yeah, now there is this area up above, and I'm gonna show it to you, but we don't actually want to do this just yet because we do not have that area unlocked. But this is a very important side quest that is tied to the endings of the game, as well as a trophy and the platinum and all of that. So very important area, and I'm just going to quickly show it, but we don't actually want to start this. Okay, so and don't worry if you did start it by accident, it's okay. But we don't have the area. It's an escort mission basically, and we have to take a flower from here all the way across the map without fast traveling or getting hit. It's kind of like the deliveries in Silksong. But yeah, if you get hit at all, you lose the flower. And also, we don't have the area that we're taking the flower unlocked just yet, so don't worry about that too much. But that's tied to an ending and all of that, so a very important NPC. Okay, so now we're heading back to the stag station to go to Dirtmouth. And now we're gonna backtrack for the essence. I'm gonna try to do this as quick as I can, but it might... I'm trying to keep these to an hour or so, but it is tough to fit all these areas. There's our girl that we saved. I was hoping we'd see her at some point. He has new dialogue as well, by the way. So what we're doing now is we're heading down the well. And if you remember that secret room we opened at the beginning of the chapter, we now can get the essence root, the whispering root. So right here, up in this secret room up here, where we got the geos, now we can dream nail it. Dog, what is my luck? I swear. I fall out of that room into an enemy. So there's quite a bit of these in this room. Ooh, that was a 2-for-1. So a little bit tedious, but not too bad. There we go. And while we're here, we can turn in our grubs, anything that we've picked up. We should be able to get the rancid egg, which is our next tier of rewards from them for reaching 16. Give it to me. Yep, there we go. A rancid egg. So you're at 16. We're almost halfway with the grubs. That is a trophy for getting half of them, but we're not there yet, but we are closing in. Let's see. Okay, now we have to go to Mantis Village, so give me 1 second. Alright, so it's faster for us to just head up to the stag station. And we're going to travel to Queen's Station. Game? Okay, I'll have to just ascend. So Queens. And I would advise making the rest at the bench and stuff. That way we can, while we're quickly looting, you'll be able to just quit and save. Alright, so up and to the right here. So we're heading to the Mantis Village. You might get essences off of kills, by the way, just in case you're wondering if that does happen. Like, sometimes when you kill some of these guys, you'll get, like, a random thing of essence. There we go. Got the journal entries done for that guy. That's good. Yeah, all right. Okay, so right here is our next dream route. And there we go. So now, that's what I was saying. We can save and quit just to get back to the bench quicker. That's why I think an item would be cool. That way you don't actually have to like force the game to reload your save or reload you at the bench. I think just, you know, maybe like save it till you get a couple areas completed and then just make it an item you pick up, just like Dark Souls does. Anyways, we're going to travel from Queen's Station to City Storerooms. Again, make sure you rest at the bench. And it's probably best if you go ahead and just kill everybody. Okay, game, please. I swear it's like once you start falling, this game decides that you just aren't going to maneuver at all. A bit sloppy there. Alright, so here's our route. Alright, so I'm just going to work from the bottom side here. What? Where did you come from? Thought I killed everybody. Brother, I need you to, like, get where I can hit you. Oh my goodness. Like, you're kind of ruining it, guy. There we go. Making it so challenging. It's like, man, we're trying to make it in under an hour here, and this guy's holding us up. Doesn't he know we're filming? That was clean. All right, we're almost done. I think there's one more above us. And there we go. So that one's a little bit of a longer one, but not too bad. Okay. Now we should head back. I'm right here, so I'm not gonna save and quit since I'm right here. So now we're heading to King's Station. So rest of the bench there, and now we're gonna head down and to the left. All right, so we are heading down this way once you get to this little crossroads. And you remember this from... Game, just let me actually hit them. What is this? Why? It's like everything I do in this game is just somehow... I'm never facing the right way. You definitely want to kill these guys. There might... Did I get all of them? Yeah, alright. Because otherwise they make your life a little bit more difficult when you're trying to collect a root. So drop all the way down. Like so, and then to the right here is our secret room where we can dream nail the root. And then it's just a matter of working your way back up the top area. And to the left here is an area that we haven't gone, so don't even worry about going there yet. We will get there eventually. This one's a little tricky, but I actually enjoy it. I think it's kind of a fun challenge. So for this one, you gotta get to the right here and then jump up and over that. Oh, I didn't mean to dash. It's just a jump. This one's a little bit frustrating. There we go. All right, the hard part is over. Of course, I still die. Good. What? Okay. Okay, I don't know why you guys probably thought I died right there. That definitely isn't what happened. Just ignore that hard edit right there. But yes, continue on. You don't actually have to re-get them all if you did have to restart. In case one of you guys did happen to die, not like what I would do. But if you did happen to die, you only have to get the ones that you haven't gotten yet. Okay, I'm just trying to jump game. Just trying to jump. There we go. A flawless victory, if I do say so myself. Definitely didn't die. Alright, now onward. You should have, at this point, you should have acquired enough essence. We were at 130. You might be at 131 or so, depending on... and if you got any essences off of certain enemies or anything like that. But like normally, without the RNG ones, you'd be at 130. So we're heading back to the stag station to go to the resting grounds where we can turn in our essence for 100. We're almost done. So go to resting grounds. Just a couple more things to do on our thing. I'm hoping to finish in the next 5 minutes, maybe. We'll see. So we're heading back to the seer. Because she had tasked us with finding 100 essence, which we have done very easily, actually. Pretty freaking good at this game. What's up, lady? Give me your stuff. Alright, she's going to give us the hollowness seal. And then she's going to task us with getting 200. So, after you've gotten that request, you can leave. And it's back to King's Station, I know. Frustrating. But we needed to do that so that we could save the thing. It's like her reward was a relic. Otherwise, I would have done this when we were here. But since she gives you a thing, I'm like, well, whatever. We'll turn it in here. Plus, it's not a long journey or anything. But I don't like having to double back like 3 times in the same like minute or two. But it is what it is. So head up this time. And we can't actually do this area right now. We don't have an ability. So just ignore it. Gosh, that guy's really got to stop drowning himself. Alright, and then we're heading back to that NPC that's we sell stuff to, which is right here. And he's going to be very happy for us, and we're going to be very happy to make a lot of money here. So sell it all.
Oh, pal, Velmi Ardred.
I'm going to, just for the sake of time, I'm going to cut to when I've sold everything. Okay, so I've sold everything, and here's the last item. So, boom, we have quite a bit of geos now. So, nearly 6,000, which, you know, now we, after spending everything, we're up 2,000 from when we started the chapter. I'm going to save and quit back to our bench. And then we're going to travel from King's Station to Forgotten Crossroads. So, boom. And now, from here, if you, that NPC that we met, that buys the charms and all, now that we have a whole bunch of geos, we're going to buy all of her charms and the charm slots. So that way, for next chapter, we'll be very set up. So it's just to the right here. All right, and this should unlock a trophy as well for getting half of the charms. So we're just going to buy everything here. If you can't buy everything, I don't know like how you lost all those geos we just earned. But if for some reason you can't, I would go to King's Station, and that room right to the left of the stag station is a good room to farm. You can go up from that room and farm all those little enemies in the upper area where we ride all those elevators, or you can kill those big knights that are to the room to the left. So any room adjacent to King's Station's stag is a good way to farm the geos at this point. So if you need to farm, that's a good spot. But go ahead and buy everything, and you'll get the charm notch here. And then we won't be able to buy this one just yet because we don't have enough charms yet. But currently, as you can see, we have a decent amount, and this should unlock a trophy for acquiring half of the charms. So that's pretty cool. 3 trophies in one video. Not bad. And I'm going to go over the loadout here as we wrap up this chapter. So I'm throwing on Grub Song as well. So now we have soul gained whenever we strike an enemy, or soul gained whenever we take damage. We have Long Nail, which is always nice. We have Gathering Storm to pick up all of our geos, and then I have Compass on just to show you guys where we're at. If you want to rearrange it, you know, to replace the Compass, if you don't care about that, you could have Thorns of Agony, or you could take off Long Nail and equip Mark of Pride, and that would fill up the extra slot. That's just an even longer nail. So that's all the options there, I guess, but feel free to mess around with it. And now I'm just going to travel back to Dirtmouth, and we'll wrap up the chapter here. So a lot of buying stuff, but you know, we basically started with 4,000, we end with 4,000, and we acquired a whole bunch of shit. So not a bad day's work. Back to home base here. Back to home base. If you guys were wondering, it costs $58,000 to make Hollow Knight, and they made well over 85 million in just Steam sales. In just Steam sales, 85 million, and it cost 58,000. And here's the thing, they kickstarted the game. They didn't even have to put the 58,000 down. I learned that today. I was like, holy fuck, talk about a return on investment. That is a good return. So GG's, Team Cherry. And Silksong's already surpassed that in just like the month it's been out. So they're killing it. Silksong cost even less than Hollow Knight to make, apparently, according to Google. So pretty crazy that they can make such a great game for just such a small amount of money, and then have the audacity to undercut everybody in the industry and sell it for 20 bucks. Like, that's why I love Team Cherry. They're for the people. But I learned all that today, and I just felt like I should share that here at the end of our video. But that is going to wrap up everything. We're going to rest here at the bench, and just to go over it, here's a look at all the charms we have. Here's all the maps that we have so far. And then you should have 1 mass shard. You know, obviously we've collected more, but we got 5 today. And then we have 4 vessel fragments at this point. So you should have 1 and 1 basically on your screen. And then we have 130 essence. You might have a little bit more than me if you got lucky with the RNG on the kills. And then, yeah, we have the Mantis and Mothwing Cloak as our 2 skills at the moment. And we have the Lantern and the Mapping Quill finally. So, and we have no more relics because we sold them all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to end the chapter here, and we'll pick up with our new area. The next chapter is going to be a fun one. So I hope you guys are ready for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.